G'day there everyone. Just wanted to do this video today to show you how to make a magnoscope. At least that's what I think you'd call it. I forget now, it's been a long time since I've made one. So, things you're going to need, something like a sheet of perspex or this lid that I got off a plastic container. I like this lid because it's got a little grid raised in this side and it's got some edges so stuff doesn't fall out. You'll see why that's important in a minute. Right. Something else you're going to need is some fairly strong magnets. I've got some big Neos here. It's probably overkill. Speaker magnets work really good. And you're going to want some plastic bags. And I do have another one of those. Well, at least this is for one method of assembling this stuff. I couldn't find a thick enough plastic bag, so I grabbed a plastic divider out of a folder. Now, so you're thinking, how are we going to look at these magnetic fields? You've got some magnetic fields, you want to see what's going on? Well, I'm going to put some magnets on this tray for now. These ones are pretty weak. Put the sheet of perspex on top. And I have here a glass jar full of metal filings. All ferrous metal filings. Swept up off the floor of my welding shed. Where I do lots of grinding and stuff too, obviously. So there's some junk in there, as you can see. Now I thought that might have been good. A lot of it is ferrous, metallic, magnetic junk. But it's probably not working out so well for what I want to do. So I'm going to show you a few tricks with that in a minute. First thing I want to suggest. Glass jar, full of iron filings, large magnets. Not great idea. Those magnets go flying across all sorts of spaces and hit things really hard. That's how this one got all chipped and shattered around the edges. I have another one of these. If you put them within about 2 feet of each other, they just fly across the bench top and smash into each other. Bits go flying. You end up with all this kind of stuff coming off everywhere. Some of these little pieces are really sharp. You don't want them flying into your eyes. So please be careful if you're going to use these really big magnets. This one here is going straight under the bench. Going to hold that one in place. We'll come back to that in a minute. So one of the first things we're going to do is tip our iron filings into a plastic cup. Now if I take my iron filings and just lightly sprinkle them, and this is where I probably should have got a lot of the junk out of my iron filings. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute and how I collected them, for those that don't know. But I've got a bit of an idea there. I'll just give it a good cut. There we go. Now I'll zoom in for you. And what you can see there is the magnetic fields of those magnets. And I can move that around a bit. And look, you can see it changing. You can see the magnet underneath. Give it a tap. See where the field is now. So that can be a really handy tool for getting the feel of what magnetic fields are doing. But as you can see, mine's full of junk and rubbish and stuff. Now you're probably wondering, how did I get all those iron filings together and have most of it metallic? Well, that's where the magnets come in. And that's also why I've got this one in a bag. If you have a close look at this bag, the camera's going to do the focusing trick, you'll see I'm getting small bits like here. The camera will focus, there we go, of those iron filings, really fine dust ones on the outside of the bag. That is exactly why I have the bag on the magnet. That stuff gets on the magnet itself, it is impossible to get off. Especially with these big, strong magnets. So if you're going to do this, bag up your good magnets, people, or it will destroy them. That stuff's really abrasive and it will wear out your magnet. Okay? So, how did I get all those iron filings? Well, that's where the second bag comes in. Play it safe. Zoom back out so you can see me. See what's going on here. Play it safe, use a second bag. So I put this magnet in its bag, into this bag, I swept up the floor of the shed where there's heaps of grinding waste and all sorts of rubbish down there. And, oops, and we're picking up the other magnets, we'll just get rid of them. You just drag the magnet in its bag through your pile of floor sweepings. And that's how I got so much junk in my iron filings. But hey, it's better than going to the drugstore or the chemist or whatever and paying for iron filings. Now to get those off into my container, because as you can imagine, you can get some pretty big lumps of iron filings on a magnet like that. Alright, that's just nasty. And they're going to start falling off really easily. So, what we do, turn the bag inside out. I've now gone from having my magnet inside the bag and my iron filings outside to vice versa. I now have my magnet free and uncontaminated outside of the bag. I have this nice neat bag of iron filings that I can just tip and pour. And these ones do work great with the big Neo magnets. And I'll stick that one back to the table now. Oh, look at that. See how strong they are? Scary strong. Yeah, this is where we're going to use the grid. I like this grid, especially with the stronger fields, because I'll zoom in for you again so you can see what's going on. Now, this magnet is so strong that it'd normally pull all those iron filings straight into the centre and it'd all stack up. But because of this slightly raised grid, it sort of helps stop them, slow them down a little bit. So you can get an idea of what's going on further out. Okay, so you can try and redistribute that. Good luck with that while the magnet's still on there. You can keep sprinkling it. And in this way, you get a pretty good idea what that magnetic field is doing. How cool and simple is that? Now those big filings, they work great on a big powerful magnet like that. But I actually want this to check out the magnetic fields in my wireless transmitters and receivers. And while they do have a magnetic field, which I'll show you in another video, it's really weak, and all this big rubbish, well, that's a solid piece there, causes too much interference. All I want is this fine dust. And I didn't have a sieve that fine, and I need to sieve it. So what I did, I took a large piece of foil and I started punching holes in it with a pin, and I realised, I don't know if you can see those holes, there you go, you can see the light coming through there. I realised pretty quickly it was going to take me ages to punch a lot of holes in the foil. So, what I did was I folded it into four. I just punched holes around this corner like crazy. And now when I unfold it, I end up with a patch of holes all around here. So now, oh, look at that. Even with the other magnet under the table, this one stuck to all my iron filings. You gotta watch that. So, this time we go back to the smaller magnets, which have a very small field, where this big chunky stuff's not really much good. And I'm just going to hold my foil like this, like so. Tip in a bunch of my ferrous powder. And make a big mess. Well done. Not how it's supposed to happen. There we go. That's probably enough. And we can now see much clearer what's going on with those magnets. Now if you don't have a piece of clear plastic on hand, don't panic, you can just use a sheet of paper. But I do recommend exercising caution with any magnets that you like and bag them up around this stuff. Because fine abrasive material like that on your nice shiny magnets, not a good mix. It'll wear them out really quick. They don't stick to each other well. It encourages when they do stick to each other, it's more likely for a shattering to happen. You get junk like that. So. But there you have it, folks. That is how you make a magnoscope. Thanks for watching.